Please, welcome to the podium, First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden.
Danny, like so many veterans across our country, you continue to serve your community long after your time in uniform. So thank you for your leadership of the Democratic Veterans Caucus of Florida and all that you do to lift up voices of veterans. And it's also great to be with my friend, Mayor Castor. Jane, from your time as the police chief and to today, you're making sure that Tampa is resilient for generations to come. And thank you for your many years of dedicated public service. And let me thank the members of the Florida legislature who are here, State Senator Rouson and Representatives Valdez and Keene. And we also have members of the Veterans Caucus of Omega Psi Phi. And I also want to thank Ione Townsend, who chairs the Hillsborough Democratic Executive Committee. So it's great to be back in Tampa. So I'm so glad to be here at Seminole Post 111. And so when Jane and I were on our way here, she told me this was the place to be. So let me say a special word of thanks to Commander David Toll for welcoming us. So I really appreciate all the work that the American Legion does to support veterans, military families, and this community. 4 years ago, Joe went from being a military dad to commander-in-chief. It's a responsibility he stepped into with pride. Because as Joe reminds everyone any chance he gets, our U.S. military is the finest fighting force in the history of the world. Of all the obligations that Joe has shouldered since he took the oath of office, he believes that the only truly sacred obligation is to prepare those we send into harm's way and to care for them and their families when they return. Anyone can tell you what they want to do, but Joe Biden can tell you what he's done. For our military and their families, he signed the first and only executive order to make sure that military spouses can build their careers, the ones that they want for themselves. He's lowered the cost of child care and mental health services. He ended the war in Afghanistan because the sacrifice asked of our military families was too steep for too long. Then, for our veterans, he expanded access to IVF and maternity care. He signed the PACT Act to give veterans the benefits that they've earned. Working to end veteran suicide by expanding counseling programs and launching 988. As Commander-in-Chief, President Biden wakes up every morning ready to work for you. And that's what this election is all about, you. Out there about this race, Joe has made it clear that he's all in. And just as always, as he has supported my career, I'm all in too. And I know you're in or you wouldn't be here today. You're all in, thank you. And with 4 more years, Joe will continue to fight for you, the military community that we are humbled and proud to call our own. My dad served in World War II as a Navy signalman. And in 2003, our son, Bo, joined the Delaware Army National Guard and served for a year in Iraq. This is personal to us. We know what it's like to wait on the other end of that lagging phone call from across the world, to smile through another holiday with an empty chair at the table. Let me ask you this. Does Donald Trump know what any of that is about? No! He disparages those who sacrifice for our country. His own chief of staff said he called POWs and those who died in war losers and suckers. Said he didn't want to be seen with injured veterans because it didn't look good for him. It's disgraceful. But it's not surprising. Donald Trump wakes up every morning thinking about one person and one person only, himself. We know what Donald Trump was like as commander-in-chief. Good job. He dismissed the military community and diminished America's leadership around the world. And it could be worse this time. He says he wants to become a dictator on day one. He called the January 6th insurrectionists great patriots. And last week, the Supreme Court ruled that there are virtually no limits on what a president can do. Our democracy cannot withstand a Trump presidency with virtually no limits. Service members honor their oath to support and defend the Constitution. We cannot trust Donald Trump to do the same. The military community deserves better. You deserve a commander-in-chief who serves with integrity and wisdom and character. And that's my husband, Joe Biden. I want you to remember what it felt like on that morning after the 2016 election when we fell short. Remember that feeling about how you woke up and you said to yourself, "Oh my God, what just happened? We can't let that happen again." I don't want to wake up with that feeling like, "Oh, we should have started earlier, we should have given more money, or we should have voted." No, we can't take anything for granted. We have to meet this moment as if our freedoms are at risk, because they are. As if our democracy is on the line, because it is. Today we are launching Veterans and Military Families for Biden, because we need you in this election. Talk to your families about what's at stake. Sign up for phone banks and canvassing shifts, and help us make sure that everyone in this community has the ballots they need to vote, no matter where they are stationed. Together, we are going to win this, and we will build an America that can live up to the service and sacrifice that you all make. Thank you so much.